Hey everybody, this is Rich Noto, Florida licensed realtor, Florida licensed home inspector, and notary public. So right now I am heading from the Waterleigh area, the Phase 1 section, and heading towards Trader Joe's, which is over in the Doctor Phillips area, which isn't too far from Universal Studios. On the right, homes are still being constructed over here, is Avalon Cove. So I'm really just headed this way just to show you one of the routes to go. Now there are several routes, but it's really windy. Some air conditioning, it's a little hot out anyway. It's in the 90s right now. It's just a little hot. So from here, there's pretty much a few different ways to go almost everywhere that you want to. You could take side roads, you could take the highway. It's really convenient. On the right is Waterleigh Phase 2, 3, 4, and 5, whenever that happens, which probably is, it's going to be sooner than later, I would imagine. So on the left is the highway. Now you could hop on the highway if you want to, but usually it just doesn't pay. Sometimes it does, but I find that most of the times it doesn't. And especially if you're going to head over to Disney, or you're going to head over to Trader Joe's, Doctor Phillips area. Sometimes when you hop on the highway, it actually takes you out of the way, because you end up going further north and then shooting south, or you go south just to go north and you're trying to head east or west. You know, it's kind of a funny thing, because the highways have to go around the theme parks and also homes and swamps. So yeah, the highway isn't always the best route. I've noticed that sometimes you could save a few minutes on the highway, but it's going to add a lot of mileage. So you're adding mileage to save a few minutes. So for me, this is probably the best route to take. At least I enjoy it. also the route that I take to go to Disney. Over here on the right is the Home2 and the Homewood suites from Hilton. These are all new hotels. On the left, the hotel's a couple years older, is the Marriott's, the Springhill suites and the Townplace suites, and the shopping, which is, you can see the shopping over here on the right, maybe. Yeah, it's coming along. The first sign that I'm seeing is this Walgreens on the right. It's probably going to be the first one to open up as well. I don't see anything else that has a store name on it yet. In there's going to be a Super Target and I think 60 other stores and restaurants, which is going to be fantastic because it's just really close to home for me. I usually go to Target in Kissimmee, which is next to the Margaritaville resort. Over there's a lot of restaurants and shopping as well. And that Target is really clean, but it's going to be nice to have one only a couple minutes away right here. The other one's about, I think it's about 13 minutes. And there's also the other one, which is in Winter Garden, but I seem to like the one that's in Kissimmee better. It usually doesn't seem to be as busy, and it just seems to be cleaner and nicer. And I am talking about Target. So we just entered Disney, although technically the property in the back of that sign was also Disney as well. Which is my understanding. You know, Disney has a ton of property, and I believe it's something like they've only built on like a third of it, which is amazing. It's just amazing how much property Disney owns over here. The land is just huge. So in the future, I would imagine that there would be a lot more space for theme parks over here in Disney or other attractions. Although it's quite possible that some of the land is only a conservation, meaning it can't be built on. I do have a older video that I drove around Disney, so if you're interested in that, check it out. I believe I hit probably about 98% of Disney in that. I just tried to drive everywhere, or at least as close to it as I could. On the left is the Coronado Springs Resort. I believe it's considered one of the mid-priced hotels over here at Disney. Of course, on the right where the sign is pointing is the All-Star Resort, and that's definitely one of the cheapest ones. And the Animal Kingdom is also off to the right, and the Animal Kingdom Lodge, and the, what is it, a Blizzard Beach, and Winter Summerland Golf, which is a mini golf with Christmas lights up. But the Animal Kingdom Lodge, I believe that's one of the mid-range or mid to upper priced resorts. Yeah, on the left is Coronado, and the newest hotel, which is the Grand Destino. So many of the hotels at Disney are great to just go and have some dinner. Not that I'm saying that the food is the greatest, because in my opinion the food at Disney definitely it definitely has a lot of room for improvement. But it's definitely nice for the atmosphere. You can get out, take a walk. There's a lot of great places to walk around if you want to get some exercise in the evening or whenever. On the left is the Fantasia Mini Golf, and also on the left is the Swan, the Dolphin, and the rest of the Boardwalk, which there's a sign up on the left that says Boardwalk, and that's going to start off with the Boardwalk Hotel, and then the next hotel in line is the Beach Club, and then it's the Yacht Club, and then it goes to the Swan and Dolphin, because it kind of loops around and connects to the street. There's also the Speedway gas station on the left. Hollywood Studios is on the right, but the entrance for it is down a little bit further. And the Art of Animation and the Pop Century Resort is to the right at this light. You would turn a right. I was over there the other night, taking a walk around. Nice place to just get out again, take a walk. Sometimes over here at Disney, the lights are messed up and they change very quickly. That's something to keep in mind when you're over here. So yeah, so over here, if you take a right, this takes you over there to those hotels that I was just talking about. And to the right also takes you to Hollywood Studios, to the entrance. And there goes the gondolas. And usually people ask me if I've been up in the gondolas, and the answer is no. It's too slow moving for me, and they've been stuck a few times, so no thanks. Too slow and too high, that's the point. Yeah. I don't really like heights. So if I'm going to be up high like that, I better be moving in something fast like a coaster. On the right is the Riviera Resort. That's also a new hotel. The Bonnet Creek Resort is coming up on the right. And on the left is the Key West and all that when you go down that road. Or I believe that's one of two ways to head that way, because you could go left and then take a right, and then you're going to go kind of across where there's bridges that's straight ahead where that road connects, and it's also up ahead on the left. So you'll go towards the Key West, and I'm just trying to think off of memory. The Port Orleans, there's a sign. Yeah, the Port Orleans and the Riverside something, I forget what they're called. Now the thing with Disney is that there's a few ways to go everywhere. I should also back up quickly that over there at the Bonnet Creek, The Bonnet Creek has the Waldorf Astoria, the Hilton Grand, I think it's, what is it, Wyndham? Where they have those little cottage homes. Now I totally lost track of what I was just saying, so let's talk about Disney Springs. A ton of places to eat in Disney Springs and a lot of places to shop. On the right is the water park, the Typhoon Lagoon, just past Typhoon Lagoon. Another great place to walk around is Disney Springs. There's a lot of things to do at Disney that are, you know, pretty much free that you could do. This is my first year not having the pass, and I really don't have it because of the COVID hours. They were shutting down at 5 p.m. and I believe 6 months of my pass or 8 months of it, I never went because of the hours. But now things are opening later, which is great. Later, but really not as late as it used to be still. This section over here can be crazy with driving, so be really careful. Make sure that your eyes are on the road 100% of the time going down here. Because this is one street where people that are going to Disney Springs, the tourists, they just cut in front of you and, you know, they're not paying attention. They'll come to a dead stop in the road. They'll be off in the bus lane. It's crazy over here. So just keep your eyes on the road. That's my tip. Right now it's the afternoon, so in the evening, that's when it gets worse, and especially the weekends. And down to the left is the Saratoga Springs Hotel, which connects over to Disney Springs, so you could actually walk it. Got the Hilton on the right, got the Wyndham on the left. The Holiday Inn over here on the right. And a B Resort. At the very end over here at the light, there's a few ways to go. You could turn a right to hop on I-4 if you want to go to Universal. You could do that. Straight ahead, if I go straight across at this light, which I'm not, but there's a lot of restaurants in here. So if you're actually at Disney, if you're staying there, if you want to eat for cheaper, just head over here. Or head over to Disney Springs, because I feel like it's cheaper to eat over at Disney Springs than it is to eat over at the parks or the hotels. And the food is better. Although the food at Disney Springs is very good. There's a lot of good restaurants in there. So basically what I'm saying is if the food is being cooked by Disney, that's the catch. I mean, some of that food makes McDonald's seem like a luxury gourmet meal. Not that I hate McDonald's, because I don't. Or Burger King, which is coming up, and that was going to be my next comparison. On the left is a 7-Eleven, and there's also Miller's Ale House. If you turn a right here, this goes towards some really nice hotels. There's a Homewood Suites at the end with a Hilton. Hilton, I can't think of the name, just off the top of my head. It's another Hilton. Another Homewood Suites is Hilton. The Hilton, it's the Garden. Yeah, the Hilton Garden Inn, that one. There's another hotel. Now over here to the right, there's a whole bunch of places to eat as well. And some little shopping in there. This road is another one. Make sure that you're really focused on the road when you're driving this. Don't look away for a second, because this road can be crazy. I've seen some real craziness on this road over the years. People coming to dead stops, cutting you off, just crazy. Florida is really becoming a state of choice for a lot of people now. The amount of people that are moving into this area it's mind-blowing. I mean, it's crazy. The phone calls that I get from a lot of people in the states that were locked down, they're coming here because they don't want to be locked down anymore. They want to have a business that's going to be open, so they're coming in. Welcome to Doctor Phillips. On the left is one of the Pulte communities, Phillips Grove. Beautiful homes in there. Pulte makes fantastic luxury homes. Homes are selling faster than ever. Homes have been selling fast for years, but in 2021, it's just been like off to the races. A whole different market, a much more aggressive market. It's a seller's market. The sellers definitely have a say in everything because the buyers are just in such massive numbers. shopping and restaurants over here is absolutely amazing. Really nice restaurants down here in Dr. Phillips over here on Sandlake Road. Pretty much if you head straight down the road, that's where all the restaurants are. And there's some over here as well, coming up on the left. Now here's another tip about shopping over here at Trader Joe's. You don't want to come here Saturday or Sunday. And if you do come Saturday or Sunday, make sure it's very late at night, like about an hour before they close. Because otherwise there's no parking. It's like this lot is jammed and people are fighting for spots. Thankfully, right now there are some free parking spaces, should I say. Now, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out and contact me. I'm No Pressure Sales, and I do work for you and represent you as a home buyer. I do not work for any home builders or represent them. They always work for the builder, and what I mean by they is these salespeople, these sales teams that work at the builders. Now, when you contact me first before heading over to the builder, you won't void your free representation, okay? Now, the home builders everywhere do pay for it, but many of them have certain rules and regulations where your realtor needs to be the one to enter the office with you, or even sometimes if you email or call builders, that can void your free realtor representation. Now, one of the great things about calling me first as well is that I like to work with the sales associates that are the best at the builders, the ones that have really good knowledge of the place and also are very low pressure, nice to work with. That's super important. The other thing in the process is, your money. You always want to keep your money safe. Many times home buyers call me after the fact. They contact me when it's too late. They're in a contract and they have problems, and now they're trying to get help from me. And many times they've seen my videos, which they openly tell me. They've seen my videos and then they end up telling me, you know what, you were 100% correct. I wish I contacted you. Now I'm in this situation. So contact me first. Let's have a nice process of finding you a home, a safe process where your money, everything that you do with your money, when you put it down, everything's done correctly. And then after you're in contract, let's make sure that your home is also assembled correctly. A home that isn't assembled correctly and is built poorly, that's not something that you want. So for me, for my home buyers, those are my concerns. I want you to have a nice experience in the beginning. I want you to have the best sales associates where possible. I want you to have a nice process going into the contract. Everything is done safe. And then after that is the home building process. So there's going to be several things along the way that I'm going to do to help you in that. So, don't miss out on it. For you don't pay for the service. You're not going to miss out on any incentives or lose them because you use my service at a builder. The only thing that you will do is you'll miss out on everything that I offer you in the process, because home builders do not reduce the price of a home because you pass on using a realtor. It just doesn't work that way. And many times you end up with the best deals because I'm there with you and I'm able to ask the right questions, okay? Asking the right questions and knowing what to say and how the deals work is super important. So don't be shy. Give me a call, email, or text. Thank you.